My name is Siddharth Ghosh. The whole work of ICeND is quite close to my heart because this is doing some very interesting work. In not only because it's fancy high tech, but it's serving some purpose. Um, as we call it UNanode or Universal Nano Devices, in short, we call it UNanode. It is enabling molecules. It is enabling viruses, nanoparticles to move through small uh, pipes, as if you can call that. We call it nanofluidic channels, some jargon. Here we try to uh, transport various things, as you have seen now by others, that starting from viruses, molecules, even towards an application in ICENd, water splitting, creating energy. So these all can be done using nanofluidic devices. And this is the core of our strength anyway. The life is formed like that. Our cellular processes happens with nanofluidic pores. So this is what is really needed. So what ICeNd does is to unify everything in these nanofluidic channels. We bring all nanoanalytical techniques, all quantum technologies in one chip. So, but what for whom we do it? Of course, this is to impact the society, to make our country, make our world a single piece of place to live together, to make our next generation live happily. I think so far all the discovery in energy, in pharmaceuticals, has been very unsustainable. So what we try to provide a solution and technology which is very, very sustainable, starting from drug discovery to ICeNd. Also, Nihal has a startup on printing. UNanode also has application in printing. So we are primarily a semiconductor company, but the main purpose is to serve the underprivileged sectors. And that starts with water, agriculture, sanitation, and health, in short, WASH. And what you can see that in past, we have achieved some interesting activities. What everybody has talked about, that has been also disseminated towards the society. We have gone to the remote villages of Uttarakhand, for example, to understand what's the problem there. And then there we figured out that water, despite being a Himalayan village, there is a lot of rivers. Drinking water is still not available. So what Nihal has been working on to create some solutions for this kind of people, people who are there, but the governance and our society is not taking care of their living. What can we do with our education? What can we do with our innovation if we don't let our countrymen live with simple water, right? It's a very sad situation. And that's what I think Nihal came up with, a very innovative solution. Vinita and I have come up with this idea that we can make water out of thin air, because you have humidity in the air, and if you plant this dehumidifier in a tree, you can make water. And that's what Nihal has been working on, and this was something very, I feel very, very blessed to have Nihal like colleague with us, who are very good in electronics, very good at DIY, to make things very quickly. So I'm very excited to looking forward that to bring those technologies to the villagers. So that's on water. Vinita, Hema, and Sarbina, all of them got some water samples. We also decided to do some testing in terms of heavy metals there. That's also in progress. Agriculture, I think that's another very important aspect. We figured out that those people in Uttarakhand are not able to earn their living, although they have lands. what can we do? So we brought soils from the remote villages of Uttarakhand, and then we figured out the concentrations of potassium, nitrogen are very bad. Phosphorus are very bad. It's primarily because the aluminum oxide is being formed. And this was done by CheNME. CheNME tested this with scanning electron microscope and energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy. These equipments are $1 million equipments, and apparently nowadays, if they want to test any of their soils, they have to send a bag full of soils in a truck to a big city to do this kind of testing. We got a very small amount of sample and a Nobel Prize winning equipment to test it, and then figure out that there are problems which is very simple and which can be recovered very quickly to bring them earning, bring them food. So this is something which was very important achievement. I think our team members went down there, slept in a very cold environment, sub-zero environment in the hills, not in any room. They tented there. They brought samples to IISc, and we are very fortunate that we are the first possibly to do this kind of activities to make use of India's most premium research facility for the underprivileged, for the people who are primarily should be benefited out of our innovation. So we gave solutions for agriculture as well. Sanitation, I think, is very important. Chinmay himself have walked around all different places. As you can see, one of the pictures here, he could find that the imposed law and regulations by the government to wear certain kinds of respiratory devices like N95 is unnecessary. We can actually have a simple mask to maintain your tidal volume in your lungs, to keep your lungs healthy, while you can filter out virus-like particles. It's a simple enough experiments, but it needs $1 million equipment like a scanning electron microscope, which we have used to figure out the solution here. Then I think that was one of the first achievements, to be honest. What we figured out that nobody actually looked into the flow of particles in a mask. So that is, I think, the COVID is again back, and I hope this solution is acceptable. We are trying to publish as soon as possible this result, and we have tried human trials here. So Sachin himself, and we have also tried some other solutions to figure out what's going on there. Health, I think, talking about lungs, I think the next thing obviously is health. As you have seen that Muraja is looking into, and Shahana as well, looking into various different kinds of contagious diseases, not only viral diseases, but bacterial diseases as well as non-communicable diseases like cancer, and their impact on human lives, and their impact and how many people are really working on it. I think that's human health, but are we really taking care of the health of the insects, which are really important for us? We're talking about honeybees. As you know, that if honeybees are dead, it's not so far that human civilization will also be gone. And the only reason why ICeNd was started is because of honeybees, and it is because of Chinmay who brought us this problem. And it was back during the first or second phase of COVID, when he also figured out that his honeybees are being affected by some virus called Thai-Saccharov virus, and this TSB virus is very contagious, and he was trying different kinds of cocktail of antibiotics, human antibiotics on them. But obviously that was not a nice way of doing it. So we brought some very deep technological solutions here. So what we are trying to look at the development of these viruses and how do they progress. with our device. That's work in progress. And at the very moment while we are talking, Chinmay is possibly preparing samples for tomorrow. And we have seen as a background, as you can see, some of the proteins. And these are the proteins basically as a background, as you can see. These are real protein molecules called MSDPs, and these are antimicrobial resistant bacterial proteins. Nobody really knows yet how antimicrobial resistance occur, and it's a multi-component biological problem. So that means there are multiple molecules, multiple systems involved. So you need single particle analysis, single particle real-time imaging system to really decompose this complex problem. And we are working on it. Most importantly, it's very important to keep in mind that we are not only a deep science, deep tech company. We are a social innovation company. Our solutions are primarily for people, for the society, and who can lead a society better than a woman. So we are woman-led by Mamita, of course. So she's a great leader. I think it's very important that a man cannot understand the core value of a society, because the motherliness of a woman is always very important for us to be united. And we are very proud to be led by Mamita here. So with that, I think I will end. But before I end, I have to also thank Honeywell, who have given us the fund, a large amount of funding to do all this expensive research. And then, of course, without that fund, I think we could not be doing anything whatever we are doing now. The government of Karnataka is very important to be acknowledged here. Here we have spent crores of Indian rupees on this research and developments, and we have used some of the most privileged equipments, most important equipments in the country. Without that funding, it's not possible. So it has been a very impactful year, although there are some ups and downs in our administration, but I think we are very impactful. I think I would be very happy to see other startups are doing this kind of impact with their deep tech solutions while developing their technologies. So I wish that Nihal can also do that. He has a startup as well. That impact to the society is very important to keep in mind. So with that, I wish you all a happy new year of coming to 2023, and keeping all good memories of 2022 as well as the bad memories. Those are very important to keep us moving. Thank you very much. I spoke a little more than 5 minutes, I think. I will just stop share now, and then we can have a small chat after that. Thank you, everyone.